Humanities in the Sunshine State is a one-week residential program at the University of Florida for rising high school juniors and seniors to learn about the historical and cultural significance of Florida's waters and how to address critical Florida issues through the humanities.
Water is a really interesting medium, which is why we chose to focus on water as a thematic focus for a couple years. For one thing, we can explore water through art. Whether it's through a physical medium, water has often inspired things like poetry and literature. And it's also something that's becoming increasingly important as we have to deal with the impact of climate change, sea level rise, issues like saltwater intrusion, and understanding where we're going to continue to find sources of water for drinking, for agriculture, with increasing populations. So it's a way to really emphasize how the humanities works with the sciences. Because what we're able to do is, again, we can talk about how we can have a range of scientific solutions, but these solutions in some ways are meaningless if we can't tie the humanities and the human story to those solutions.
The Dean's Office views the student program in a particularly unique way. This is our opportunity to put our college on display, to express the attitude we have towards interdisciplinarity, towards future students, to let them know that there is a place for so many various perspectives at the University of Florida, but in particular at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
I hope students at the Humanities of the Sunshine State program take away the fact that learning at an institution of higher learning is both enjoyable and challenging, and that they can take that knowledge and use it to improve their own lives, but also to improve the lives of the community.
Disciplines under the humanities umbrella, such as philosophy and ethics, those really teach us as human beings how to interact with other people and what relationships mean to us and other people. The humanities are essential to any study that anybody goes into, because building those relationships are important. Without other people, how can you build yourself up, and how can you build other people up without their help and their support and their advice?
Well, it's important because they need not only to know the story, but they need to go on the land, walk the land, feel the land. And when you do that, you have an appreciation for what has happened. So they learn nature, and they feel responsible about things that they hadn't thought about before, and especially water.
They're learning so much from themselves, not necessarily from the counselors, not necessarily from the instructors, although they do learn scads from them, but they learn a lot from themselves. And I think that this notion of community really is nice. I mean, it could, a week really helps. In 2 days, you don't get that bonding, you don't get that interaction, you don't get that kind of talking to each other on the way to breakfast. That for the first day is all about non-academic stuff, but by day 5, they're talking about the things they learned yesterday and how it affects them, how it affects their families, how it affects them as a generation.
With the humanities, we're really just human people ready to to me, put our hands on other people in good ways and loving ways, figuratively and literally. And one of the major parts of our work is actually going out in the community and talking to people and not being afraid to say, hello, my name is, and can you tell me your story?